with a few of my friends, and in honor of my cousin, Sarah Honowitz, who passed away. I am so excited because we have an incredible lineup of speakers tonight, and there's so much need for this. The world needs us. Someone needs you. So without further ado, I'd like to present my friend Sarah Eckstein, who will talk a little bit about Sarah Honowitz. Sarah Eckstein was Sarah Honowitz's best friend, and take the floor away.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Esty, for that introduction. I gotta say, I was one of her best friends because Sarah just collected friends wherever she went. She was the type of person that walked into a room and just didn't miss a beat. Just everyone was instantly magnetized to her. She was a person, she was a walking, talking, living paradox because her life was filled with so much suffering and so much physical pain on a daily basis. She had constant doctor appointments and she wasn't able to come to school a lot. Things that most of us took for granted, like walking up the stairs, took so much energy and effort out of her. But yet, she exuded such an energy of positivity. She constantly lived with a smile on her face, and she constantly was out of her comfort zone and is talking to people and asking them how they were. One day she had to school and she had this big, and she to help her bring it in, and I bring it in and I'm like, Sarah, what is this? What's going on? And she smiled at me and she's like, I'm raising money for my uncle Yitzi Horowitz. And she opens up the box, and inside are 100 little plastic water bottles that are bright yellow and have a huge smiley face on them. And it says ALS, always live smiling. She constantly spoke about her uncle and how much he inspired her, how he smiles throughout everything that he goes through. And she emulated that in her short life. She lived so meaningfully, and she constantly, in her most complicated form, she lived with such a simple mantra. To live meaningfully, you live for others. I can't think of a more appropriate program that we decided to start in her honor and in the elevation of her neshama. Links Leadership is a platform to give people, to give to others, and find that leader within us. I'm excited modern day leaders that we have to give us a bit of advice and show us exactly what they do, and to help us with that idea of how to find a leader within inside of us. When we introduced this idea to Rabbi Manis Friedman in the very beginning, he was instantly excited and gave us so much validity to the program and so much good, so many good ideas and so much good advice. So I am so excited. Without further ado, I'm going to pass along the panel to him, and let's see what he has to say.
Okay, now I'm unmuted. Thank you. What you're saying is so correct and so perfect for today's generation. Life has to be about other people. It's absolutely essential. And here's the reason behind it. Thinking of other people and wanting to help others, be there for others, is not something noble. It's not Mesiras Nefesh. You're not going above and beyond the call of duty. It's very basic. It is what life is really meant to be. It's not unusual or special. Because think of it like this. Let's say back in the olden days, A father wakes up his son, an 8-year-old, and says, come, we have to go plow the fields, or milk the cow, or harvest. Why? Why? If we don't do that, we're not going to have what to eat and we're going to die. So it was urgent. And the 8-year-old did not argue. He understood. You can't play with this. If you don't get the seeds in the ground on time in the right season, then nothing is going to grow and the winter is going to come and you're going to starve. It was real. So the 8-year-old didn't mind getting up early in the morning, even when it was cold outside. And even if you hadn't had what to eat the night before, you had to do what you have to do. This has been the way life was lived for almost all of history. We invented a plow. Why? Because you have to, otherwise you die. We invented running water, pipes, because if not, you're going to get sick from a disease and you're going to die. We found medicine. We explored new territories to live in, cleaner places, fresh air. Why? Because you didn't want to die. So all our progress, everything, was motivated by the fear of consequences. You don't want to die. You don't want to get sick. You don't want to cause a war. You don't want to cause a plague. You got to watch out for these things. So you have to do what you have to do. It got us pretty far. Got us to the moon and back. That's pretty impressive. But why did we go to the moon? Because if the enemy gets there first, we could get killed. Today, things are a little different. For most people today, if your father wakes you up at 8 o'clock in the morning and says, you got to get up, why? Why does an 8-year-old today have to get up? You can't tell an 8-year-old, if you don't get up, we're going to die. No, you're not. You see, if you don't get up in time and get your shoes on and catch the bus to school, you're going to miss the bus. Yes. So what? Well, if you miss the bus, you'll miss school. Yeah, so what? Well, if you don't do good in kindergarten, you're going to get left behind. You're not going to graduate high school. You won't get into a college. You don't get into a college, you don't get a good job. If you don't get a good job, you can't pay your bills. You can't pay your bills, you're going to end up homeless on the street and catch a disease and die. That's what you're going to say to an 8-year-old this morning? The 8-year-old will say, you're crazy. You better come up with a better reason for me to get up early, because don't threaten me with death. It's ridiculous. What about religion? Religion has for a long time said, get up and daven, get up and say Modani. Because if not, you're going to go to Gehenna. You're going to go to hell. You're going to burn when you die. You see the pattern? Everything we've done for all of history was because of some threat. You better behave yourself, because you know if you ruin your reputation, nobody's going to want to be your friend and nobody's going to marry you and you're going to be all alone and you're going to get old and you're going to die. Like, is there no limit to these threats? What would you say to an 8-year-old who was told to put his toys away or clean up his room, and the 8-year-old says, I didn't ask to be born. Why do I have to clean up my room? I didn't ask to be born. What do you think of that? Well, first of all, did you ever say that? Did you ever think that? I didn't ask to be born. Now, that's absolutely true. Nobody asks to be born. In fact, we're told that when the neshama hears that it's going to be born, it gets very upset and it doesn't want to go. We don't ask to be born. Now, is that good news or bad news? Most people think it's bad news. If a child says, I didn't ask to be born, he obviously is not happy to be alive. That's not good. It's not always bad news. If a child is smart enough to know that I didn't ask to be born, you should be impressed. That is a very mature child. Because it's so true. So if a child says to his mother, I didn't ask to be born, the mother should say, neither did I. I didn't ask to be born either. And grandma didn't ask to be born either. That's so true. Do you have to be upset about it? No. It's actually good news. Because what does it mean, I didn't ask to be born? Why? Why don't we ask to be born? Because we don't need to. We don't need it. If we needed it, we would ask. But we don't need it. So I don't need to be here. I therefore do not ask to be born. Now, if I don't need to be here, if I don't need this, is there anything I'll ever get upset about? I don't need anything. So what's going to upset me? That I don't have a car? I don't need. I'd like to have a car, but I don't need a car because I don't even need to be born. So see if this makes sense to you. You say to your mother, I need to have something to eat. I need to go to sleep. I need a sweater. It's cold in the room. Is it actually true that you need to eat? Think about this. I need to eat. Why? Because if I don't eat, I'm going to be hungry. So if I'm hungry for a long time, I get a headache. So if the headache gets worse, it could become dangerous. If I don't eat, I can't be healthy. If I'm not healthy, I'm not going to live long. If I don't live long, I'm going to die. It always comes back to that. But today, you can't say that. Today, if you threaten someone you're going to die, they say, I didn't ask to be born. So you better tell me something more interesting and more important, because I am not going to live my whole life just because I'm afraid to die. Because I didn't ask to be born. So let me tell you this little story. This bacher went to yeshiva overseas. And it was not good. He couldn't adjust to the yeshiva there. So after a month, he came home. But he came home a mature, intelligent, responsible boy. When he went, he was not so mature. He was not so intelligent. He was not so responsible. Because here's what happened. He came into the office of the yeshiva the day that he arrived. And he said to the mashpia, to the Rosh Yeshiva, whoever it was there, he said, I have to call my mother. Which phone can I use? The Rosh Yeshiva said to him, you have to call your mother? The boy said, yeah. The Rosh Yeshiva said, you have to call your mother. So he thought about it for a minute, and he realized what the Rosh Yeshiva was telling him. I have to call my mother is not true. What should he have said? Yeah, say it out loud. What should he have said? I want to call my mother? No, not true. What he should have said is, my mother needs me to call her. See, that is absolutely true. That's true. In other words, why should the boy, let me adjust the light here a little bit. Why should a boy call his mother? Because he wants to? Because he needs to? That's not a mitzvah. The mitzvah is honor your parents. Do what they need. So what is the truth? The average teenage boy needs to call his mother? Well, maybe if he's homesick or something. But the real truth is his mother needs him to call because she's worried. Now, when a person says, I need to eat, is that true? The reason you're going to eat is because you need to eat? Try not eating. A person decides, no, I don't want to eat. I want to go on a diet. I don't want to eat. I want to fast for the first time in my life. You have to eat. Yes, you have to eat, otherwise you can't live. Well, who did this to you? Who created human beings, like a car can't run without gas? A human being can't run without food? Who designed us like this? Do we even like this idea? I'm like a car. You have to fill me with food every now and then, otherwise I can't function? That's embarrassing. Did I choose this? No, I didn't ask to be born. I didn't ask to need to eat, or need to sleep, or need friends, or need to go shopping. I didn't ask for any of this. So why do I have to eat? Because my creator decided that that's how I should function. So he created me this way. So if I would say it correctly, I need to eat? No. My creator needs me to eat. Isn't that more true? Did you ever hear anybody say, okay, I got to go home now, my creator needs me to eat? See, nobody ever says that, but isn't that the truth? Like when you're busy with something, a very important or very fun project, and you're almost finished, you just need another hour, and you can't finish the project because it's time to go to sleep. Do you want to go to sleep? Do you need to go to sleep? No, you need to finish the project. Sorry, you're falling asleep. So I don't need to eat. If you asked me, I would not design myself like this. But what can I do? I'm stuck. So when I do need to eat, it's not me. It's the Eibishter. That's called eating l'shem shamayim. You don't eat because you need to. You eat because that's how Hashem designed you. And why don't you need to eat? Because you don't even need to be here. Before Mashiach comes, everything is going to become true. No more fake news. When the truth is obvious, you know Mashiach is coming. And this truth is becoming obvious. So here's what's happening for us, the first generation of Geula. What's happening is like this. In the olden days, when somebody said, you have to, we accepted it. Yeah, you have to. Usually you have to because otherwise you're going to suffer. Okay? Today, the idea that I have to doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. What do you mean I have to? And that's why many people are rebelling. I don't have to. You have to keep kosher. I have to keep kosher. I don't have to. Why do I have to? You have to daven. You have to keep Shabbos. You have to. What do you mean I have to? I didn't even ask to be born. How did it become my responsibility? We're asking for emes. Tell me the truth. Don't tell me I have to, because I don't have to. You have to be from. I have to be from? Oh, because otherwise I'm going to die. Okay. You're back with your threats again. No, I don't have to. I didn't create myself. I didn't create the world. I didn't choose to be who I am, where I am, what I am. I didn't choose any of this. Whatever is happening, I don't need. Then who does? Then who does? We want to make this world into a dira b'tachtenim. Do I need the world to be a dira b'tachtenim? I have to make a dira b'tachtenim? Excuse me? I don't have to anything. I really don't. Who needs a dira b'tachtainim? Me? Hashem, the Creator, needs a dira b'tachtainim. You know what? The Creator is the only one who needs anything. If this isn't making sense to you, raise your hand. You build a house and you invite someone to live in it. Who has needs? You or your guest? It's your house. You need it to be safe. You need it to not be broken, to not be destroyed, to not be defaced. It's your house. You have needs. The guest in your house, the guest has no needs. Hashem created the world because he has a plan. That's what needs to happen, not me. So what's happening today is this. Every time I'm told that I have to, I get a little depressed because it doesn't feel right. I shouldn't have to. And if I go for therapy, then I'm told, whoa, you have so many needs you don't even know about. And if I sit down to learn Musar, I find out that even after I die, I'm going to have needs. So there's no escape. Okay, here's the bottom line. Do you know anyone who would enjoy being needy? You know, you have certain friends that are needy. You don't want to spend too much time with them. They're needy. It's no fun to be needy. You know why? Because it's not true. A person who feels needy is like the boy saying, I need to call my mother. No, you don't. Wake up. So here's why you have to be a leader. Because if you're not a leader, then you are needy. Then you're going to think about yourself and your needs, and you're going to get miserable. The only correct way to live is to be needed, not needy. So there's our bechira, there's our choice. You want to have a miserable existence? Fine, be needy. Worry about everything you need. I need this, I need that, I have to go, I must. You're making yourself miserable. But if you think about other people, what do they need that you can do for them? Then instead of being needy, you have become needed. Now, if you think about every mitzvah, whether it's in the Torah or the Rabbanon or it's a minhag, every mitzvah tells you what you are needed for. It doesn't make you needy. And that's why the mitzvah connects you to Hashem. When you do something that he needs, now you're connected to him. When you ask him to give you what you need, are you really connected to him? Or are you more connected to yourself? So let's sum it up. I need to call my mother? Not right. My mother needs me to call her. So what am I? Needed. I am needed. I am not needy. I have to keep Shabbos. I have to keep Shabbos. The only way you can explain that I have to keep Shabbos is by threatening me. Oh, if you don't keep Shabbos, you're going to... We don't like threats anymore. I don't have to keep Shabbos. I didn't create the world in 6 days and rest on the 7th. So why must Shabbos be? Because Hashem created the world in 6 days and he rests on the 7th. Yeah, so what do you want from me? Hashem says, I need you to keep Shabbos with me. Do you imagine a father who's sitting by the Shabbos table and he knows it's Shabbos and he's careful about Shabbos and he enjoys Shabbos, but none of his children want to sit at the table? How painful is that? So a father would say to his children, come to the table. You need to sit here. No, I don't need to sit here. If the father says, come to the table, I can't keep Shabbos by myself. All the kids would come to the table. Because we really do like being needed. We don't like being needy. That's why you have to think of other people. Thinking of other people doesn't make you a tzaddik. It makes you needed. That's what a human being is here for. Because if not, then you become needy, and that's bad news. So who are the happiest people that you know? People who don't seem to need anything. And I think the best example is if you're home alone and you're going to make lunch, what are you going to make? You'll look in the fridge for some leftovers. You'll open a jar, a can, something. It's boring. But if somebody's coming over for lunch, all of a sudden it's a party. Oh, now you're going to cook up your best dish. You're going to make the most interesting food because now you're needed. That's exciting. That's simcha. When you need to eat, that's just boring. So, ivdu es Hashem, if he needs you, then besimcha you will be happy. So what do we do now that we can't leave our house? Does that mean that nobody needs you? On the contrary, because people can't leave their house, now they realize how needed they are. Who misses you? Who needs to talk to you? Who needs to hear from you? Who can use a little compliment, a little attention? Now, making a phone call or sending a text can change a person's life because they're all alone. They think they're forgotten. God forbid. So, what are you going to do? Be needy or be needed? I don't think there's any choice. There's no choice because being needy is so miserable. So now, after all of this, you understand what it means when Hashem calls Avraham, and Avraham says, Hineni. What does Hineni mean? Hineni means, I didn't ask to be born. So I'm not busy. You need something? Good, tell me. I can do for you. You need me? Oh, good. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm doing here. It's an amazing thing when the Rebbe started Miftzat Tefillin. Everybody got so excited. The Rebbe is telling us that we have a job to do. We have to go out, rent a truck, go downtown, get a microphone, invite people. It was a little embarrassing. We're not used to this. Just stop a stranger in the street and ask him to roll up his sleeve. It's so weird. But we got so excited. The Rebbe had a project. We did it. Then the Rebbe says, wait, I have another project. Miftzah Mezuzah. And we said, oh, wow, we got all excited. And then the Rebbe said, no, wait, I have another project. Miftzah Neshek. And we go, oh, wow. And I said, no, I have more. An Eis and a Sefer Torah. Oh, no, now it's Yantif, so no, now Miftzah Lulav and Esrik. You know what the amazing thing was? People were saying, the Rebbe is so original. He's so brilliant. He keeps coming up with these projects. But do you realize how amazing the Chassidim were? Okay, one project, it's exciting. Two projects, that's a little, who has time? 3 Miftzayim? 10 Miftzayim? That's besides the Eis and the Sefer Torah, besides Matzah for Pesach, besides Shalach Monas, besides Lulav and Esrog. How is it that Chassidim didn't say, hey, enough already? Never. We love being needed because it makes us forget about our needs. And that is the greatest thing in the world.
Honest Friedman.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna cut you off now, and I want to say thank you so much. This is incredible stuff. Can we close the remarks so the next speaker can have a few minutes?
We have no time for questions.
Is there a way that we can do a follow-up afterwards?
Oh, yep. Okay. Very good.
Thank you so much.
Or we could just do this next week.
Or we could always come back again.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Monish Friedman.
Thank you for needing me.
And I'm sure everyone has after hearing you speak, I'm sure everyone has far much more motivation on why actually be a leader. It doesn't have to do about how talented I am, or it doesn't have to do about, how charismatic I am. It has to do about somebody else who needs me. And that's more impactful than anything. Thank you so much again, Monish Friedman.
Thank you.
So,
Sei gesund.
sei gesund. before we move on, I want everyone to hit the chat section and answer with an answer to this question. So who is someone who had an impact on you and why? So the question is, who is someone who had an impact on you and why? Moving on, I feel very humbled to welcome the next speaker, Mrs. Sterny Wolf. She's a very special guest from Hanover, Germany. Sterny Wolf is like the epitome of strength, determination, and truth. She's really a true leader, and today she'll be sharing her story. Once you see her speak, you'll understand that there's really no words to introduce her. Since it's currently 2:40 a.m., she was kind enough to send in her personal message.
ערב טוב בנות יקרות, תודה שיש לי את הזכות לדבר אליכם בשלב שאתם מעצבות את האישיות שלכם. ויש לי גם מסר קטן. בי"א ניסן, השנה, לפני חודש וחצי, בעלי נכנס לבית הרפואה, על הרגליים, בריא, לדבר, אבל משם הוא כבר לא יצא. 3 שבועות של תקווה, אמונה, רצון וביטחון שבני יחזור הביתה לילדים שלו, לקהילה. אבל זה לא קרה. בראש חודש אייר, יום שישי, כמה דקות אחרי שנכנסה שבת, הקדוש ברוך הוא החליט אחרת. המשכתי לשבת שם לידו, והרבה זמן, בגלל שאני ידעתי שברגע שאני קמה ועוזבת את החדר, אני משלימה עם המציאות. ולא רציתי, לא יכולתי, לא הסכמתי להשלים עם מציאות כזו. התחננתי לקדוש ברוך הוא. בבקשה, תעשה תחיית המתים. אני עוד פה, עוד הכל אפשר לשנות. אני לא אבין לעולם למה, אבל אני כן מבינה שזה רצונו של הקדוש ברוך הוא. בדרך מבית הרפואה הביתה, הכל היה מאוד מאוד שחור. היה לילה, אני לא ראיתי נקודת אור, היו הרבה דברים, עברו הרבה דברים בראש, אבל דבר אחד היה ברור לי מהשנייה הראשונה. נעשה ונשמע. אנחנו ממשיכים. רק עכשיו חגגנו את חג השבועות. היה חג מאוד קשה. לנו בתור משפחה, לקהילה בלי הרב. אבל כמו שבני ישראל לפני אלפי שנים אמרו נעשה ונשמע, הם לא התדיינו עם עצמם. הם לא חשבו אם זה משתלם או לא משתלם, ואיך אנחנו באמת נבצע את זה. זה משהו שיצא מהתוך הפנימה. אותו דבר, בדקות האלה שהלכתי מהבית רפואה לבית, לבשר לילדים את הבשורה הכי קשה שיכולים לשמוע, בדרך רק דבר אחד היה לי ברור. אנחנו ממשיכים פה, איך זה נראה אחר כך. בגלל שכשזוג יוצא לשליחות, הוא יוצא עם אידיאולוגיה שאנחנו הולכים לעשות הכל בשביל שמשיח יבוא. ואנחנו נעזוב את עיר שליחותנו, או כשמשיח יבוא, או כשהיהודי האחרון יעזוב את העיר. אנחנו פה בהנובר כבר 15 שנה. לצערי, משיח עוד לא הגיע, וגם היהודי האחרון עוד לא עזב. ולכן, אנחנו ממשיכים, כי המטרה עוד לא הושגה. איך זה יקרה בפועל? אנחנו עכשיו כבר חודש וחצי אחרי, אנחנו גם לומדים להבין איך יהיה ונשמע. כמו שבחג השבועות בני ישראל עמדו כולם כאיש אחד בלב אחד, גם השנה הגיעו הרבה אנשי קהילה בכמה פעמים לשמוע את 10 הדיברות ולהמשיך את הדרך של בני, שהיה איש של שלום, איש של אהבה. בני היה שליח מסור ונתון לפעולות של הרבי בכל רגע נתון, והכל מתוך אהבה, סבלנות, נועם, עם חיוך. היה תמיד חשוב לו אהבת ישראל. ואת הדרך הזאת, אומנם פה פיזית הוא כבר לא נמצא, אבל הוא השאיר לנו מורשת חזקה מאוד של אהבת ישראל. בזה אנחנו יודעים לתופעה מדהימה. במהלך התקופה הזאת, כל כך הרבה מכתבים מיהודים ולא יהודים בעיר, ששולחים, מאנשים שמחליטים להשלים אחד עם השני, בתוך המשפחה, בין קבוצות, בין אנשים. זה רק מראה לנו כמה ההשפעה של בני חזקה. אני גם עדה למשהו מפתיע, איך שכל אחד מהקהילה מרגיש שהוא איבד לא רק אבא, לא רק רב, אלא גם חבר וידיד אמת. אבל מה עושים עם הכאב הזה? עם הכאב שכבר לא יעזוב אותנו. כבר מיד, אחרי שזה קרה, ואחרי שבישרתי לילדים ולקהילה, מיד אמרתי להם, בואו נמנף את הכאב הזה לעשייה. לשבת ולבכות, זה לא יביא לנו את המשיח ולא יחזיר לנו את בני בחזרה. את הכאב שלנו, אנחנו נעשה איתו משהו. התקשרה אליי אמא, אישה, כבר באמצע השבעה, ובכתה וכאבה, וסיפרה שגם הבן שלה מאוד מאוד בוכה, ולא מסוגל לעשות כלום כבר כמה ימים. אז אמרתי לה, בואי תבקשי מהבן שלך, שיהפוך את הכאב לעשייה, ושיניח תפילין כל יום לעילוי נשמתו. אז היא אמרה לי, אבל הוא לא עשה בר מצווה. אני יודעת שבעלי ניסה כמה וכמה פעמים לפעול עליו לעשות בר מצווה. אז אמרתי לה, אז בואו נחליט שעכשיו עושים לו בר מצווה. זה היה ב-10 בלילה, ביום רביעי, באמצע השבעה, ואמרתי לה, מחר, ביום חמישי בשעה 3 בצהריים, תבואי עם הבן, ואנחנו נחגוג לו הנחת תפילין ראשונה. ואכן זה מה שהיה. ואחרי הבר מצווה, כשהסתיים הטקס והכל, אז הוא בא, ניגש אליי ואמר לי, ועכשיו אני רוצה לעשות ברית מילה. היום הוא התקשר אליי שוב ושאל, האם כבר השמיים פתוחים? האם כבר אפשר להביא לפה מועל? כי אני רוצה לעשות את זה כמה שיותר מהר. גם נשים בקהילה שלא הדליקו עד היום נרות שבת, וביקשתי מהם כל יום שישי אני שולחת הודעה על הדלקת נרות, והוספתי עוד שורה, שגם מי שלא הייתה רגילה לעשות את זה עד היום, אז אני מבקשת ממנה לעילוי נשמה לעשות. כי החלטנו לתרגם את כל הכאב העמוק שלנו לעשייה, בשביל שמשיח יוכל לבוא. זו ההזדמנות גם להודות לכל 12,000 איש שתמכו בהחלטה שלנו להישאר פה, והפכו להיות שותפים להמשך העשייה בהנובר. כמובן, זו ההזדמנות גם להודות לשלוחי חב"ד בגרמניה, שהפכו להיות משפחה מדהימה ותומכת בכל השעות הכי קשות. ולכן אני רוצה לסיים עם מסר. כל אחת, בכל תקופה בחיים שלה, עם כל מה שהיא נתקלת, לא ליפול, להפוך את הכאב לעשייה, למנף את זה למשהו חיובי. ובעזרת השם, בין אם מלמעלה ואנחנו מלמטה, נעשה כל מה שאפשר להמשיך ולזרז את הגאולה ולהביא לנו את בני בחזרה. תודה רבה לכם.
Wow, 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 wow. Again, no words. Thank you, Shirley, so much for those powerful words. Anything that I would say would literally be excessive. So Shirley's message is actually, why we started the program. A year and a half ago, on the day that Sarah passed away, it was a very dark day. I was numb to everything. I didn't know what to think, what to do, what to feel, what was happening. And a friend who was with me on that day told me that, the family is going through enough pain. And you can't afford to shut down at this moment. You have to do something in her merit. That will be far more powerful and far more effective than feeling in the dumps. So we just heard why leadership is so important. And we just saw, what true leadership looks like. And to wrap it up and bring it down to earth, I'm excited to welcome Yaniv Hoffman, aka Jericho, who'll be addressing the specifics about how to lead. Jericho has charted his own path. When I look at him, I see authenticity, I see courage, and I see an ability to take on anything. In my house, the Singer's album is always being played. And so I know my sisters want me to stop talking already so they can hear what he has to say. So the stage is yours, Jericho.
Yo, can you hear me? Yeah?
Yes.
Cool. Well, I'm blushing from that intro. It's so sweet. Thank you for listening to my music. Hi, Nava. Nava's my cousin now. Something like that. Hey, guys, what's up? I'm speaking to you from my rooftop in Crown Heights. First of all, thank you for having me here. I appreciate it. It's good to be talking to you guys, especially during this crazy time that we're living through right now. We heard from some really epic speakers that I'm in no way in the same league of, but honored to be on a flyer with them. So the question is how to lead. So there's a couple of things I'm thinking about in my head, when I asked that question. And the first thing I want to say is, for anybody that might feel like this is irrelevant to you, I think everyone here probably has a part of them that's thinking like, why am I hearing so much about leadership? Like, what makes me capable, or like, why am I a leader, right? You could be however old you are, 12, 14, 15, you're thinking like, why am I thinking so much about leadership? Who am I leading? But it's important to realize that to be a leader, you don't really have to know what you're doing. You just have to know where you're going. And that's what I want to tell you guys. I want to tell you a little story that happened to me. It's a story that is pretty relevant to life right now, the life that I'm going through right now. And I've actually thought about it a couple times over the last couple months. So I'm going to share it with you. So I was in the Army. I served as a commander in Givati in a combat unit in the IDF from 2012 to 2014. And I served most of my time as a commander in the West Bank, which was an intense area, an intense time to be leading other people. And I was given the responsibility of essentially, having a group of young people, and I had to take care of them and lead them through missions and battle. And so that was really where I learned a lot of my leadership lessons from. But there's one point that happened that I find really relevant to my whole life, and I think a lot of people can find relevant. So we're in the West Bank, and we're on our way to we're on our way to a mission. We're going to, we have some information on somebody who's involved in terrorist activity, and we are doing a pretty standard arrest. So we go in with 2 Jeeps into a village, and we know where we're supposed to be going. And then as what happens a lot of times when we go in is you get ambushed. And there was actually a soldier, unfortunately, sadly, who died on one of these missions a couple of weeks ago in Israel. I think his name was Igal. I forget now, but he was in Golani. And it's a devastating story. But so we're on this mission, and what happens is we turn a corner, and we're ambushed. And there's a row of trash cans on fire, and we can't go past the street that we were planning on going past. And so what we have to do at that time is called litfos gova, which means to grab high ground, right? To get to the tallest place that you can get to and figure out where the problem is, right? People are throwing rocks from rooftops, and you're under attack. You don't know what's going on. It seems like very confusing and very, caught you off guard. That's what the point of an ambush. And so we get out of the car, all of us with our helmets on. I have 5 soldiers with me, and my other commander, another commander friend of mine, Surel, has 5 soldiers with him. And we get out of the cars and we start going down an alleyway. I see a tall building that's like about 4 stories high. To the right, he sees to the left. I said, I'm going to go this way. We're signaling to each other. Everything's happening very fast. We get to the building, and I see that it looks empty. I open up the door, and stop moving your phone. It's unnerving. My bad. I'll stay put. So we get to this. I get to this building, open up the door. It looks pitch black inside, and I see from across the room that there's a staircase on the other side, and we have to get to that staircase to get to the top of the building. Right, pretty straightforward. I know that that's where we have to get to the top of the building. So I have a flashlight on my gun, and I'm the only one who has a flashlight. And at being the commander, I don't know why we don't give flashlights to everybody. It's just a thing. And so we go with 5 of us up against one wall, and then we make a left. We go up against the other wall, and then right before the staircase, there's a big hallway. There's this big gap of about 5 feet. And in a situation like that, you have to make sure that hallway is safe, right? You got to make sure that there's nothing waiting in that hallway. And so what you're meant to do is not put your whole body in front of it and make yourself exposed, but you're supposed to take your flashlight and flash it into around the corner just to make sure nobody's there. So I go for my flashlight, and I go to push the button on my flashlight, and the worst thing happens, which is nothing. Nothing happens. My flashlight doesn't turn on. I'm out of batteries, and I'm like, I cannot believe that this is happening to me right now. I click again. I click it like 5 times, hoping that something's going to change, and nothing changes. And we're in this building, and it's pitch black, and I have to make a decision, right? I have to know, am I going to just go for this and get to the top of this building, which is, I know that's where I need to get to. And I'm going to have to go through a pocket of total unknown, right? Total pitch black darkness, where you don't know what threats are around you. You don't know what's waiting for you around the corner, but you have to get to the top of the building. So I took a moment, and I felt, I just gathered my confidence and just took 1 step forward and walked through, and everybody followed me. Nobody asked any questions. Nobody's thinking that I'm questioning myself, because I moved forward with confidence. Thank God we got to the top of the building, and we walked up 4 flights in almost pitch black darkness, holding onto the walls, and we got to the top of the building and took care of, sorry. No, I apologize for moving so much. And we got to the top of the building, and we did what we needed to do, and we took care of the situation. Why is this relevant? Because in a way, we are all in a dark building, and we need to get somewhere. We have people that are following us, people that are looking to us for confidence and for strength. And all we need to do to be leaders in this situation is to know where you have to get to. You don't have to know exactly how to get there. You don't have to know exactly what tools you need to get to the top to accomplish your mission. All you have to know is that where you need to get to, and have the strength and the courage, the bravery, and the faith in God, that he has faith in you to get to that place. So when asked how to lead, there's no recipe. There's no magic answer to this question, because everybody's going to be leading in different situations, because everybody has a different top of their building. Everybody has a different place they need to get to. Right? So you really just have to figure out what that top of the building is for you, where you need to get to, figure out who's following you, take care of them, and just walk forward one step at a time with confidence. There's an idea from a couple of weeks ago in the Parsha. It says, that, we know this from a few different places, but it talks about walking with Hashem, right? And says in Shema. And the question is, why walking? Why not flying, right? We're talking about God. Like, shouldn't we have like a magic carpet or something? Like, why just walking? It seems like a boring verb for the creator of the world. And the thing about walking is that walking requires you to just put one foot in front of the other. Just take one step at a time. And that's what leadership is all about. Just take one step at a time, walk with confidence, walk with strength, know where you have to get to, focus on the destination, and you'll get there. So thank you again for having me, guys. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully we all get to meet at a concert. And I guess any questions, maybe? Am I supposed to do that?
Any questions?
I don't think we're gonna, let's see. We might have a few. If anyone wants to hit the chat box with questions, we have like about 1 minute.
30
But
seconds.
meanwhile, everyone wants you to sing a song. That's what it seems from the chat box.
That's what it seems like, right? Actually, I'm on a rooftop. I don't have my guitar with me.
How do we get that confidence?
How do you get that confidence? I think being connected to Hashem, being connected to the Rebbe, being connected to something bigger than you. That's how you have confidence. You connect yourself to something that's greater than you. So your strength comes from somewhere else.
That's true. That's very powerful. I just want to say, like, I resonated so much with what you said, because when I was organizing this event, I was like, I know what I want to do, but I do not know what I'm doing. So I'm so grateful to you guys for coming out and inspiring us all, and for everyone who showed up. I gotta sing without your guitar.
Next time, guys. Next time we'll do a concert in person.
Well, thank you so much, Derico. And
Pleasure.
yeah.
Keep doing your thing. All the best.
Thank you. Okay, so before we wrap up this program, I have one final question, and shortly thereafter, we'll conclude by picking the winner to our AirPods giveaway. So, how will you exhibit leadership and make this practical for you? I'm going to say it again very slowly. How will you exhibit leadership and make this practical for you? I hope I'm not moving too much. I'm sitting down right now. Hit the chat box below. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, we started an AirPods Pro giveaway, and here's how it worked. So you submitted an idea for a volunteer project, and the top 8 candidates are going to be chosen to be trained and funded by the program. And submissions are going to be evaluated based on practicality, originality, and impact. This is all based on the idea is that you have so much power and there's so many people in need. So step up to the plate. Now, the cool thing about this is all submissions, whether they're picked or not, are going to be entered into a raffle for a pair of AirPods Pro. So just to note, although any ideas, although we're doing the giveaway right now and we're picking the winner, the ideas can still be submitted, and we will be announcing next Thursday which 8 ideas will win to be trained, funded, and mentored, okay? We want to help you make these ideas happen. We'll be also posting a few cool ideas for inspiration on our Instagram and on the chat box. And on Thursday next week, tune on into our Instagram page and check out our website to see how you can get involved. So whether or not you have an idea, come and connect with us and help others and get involved with us. Follow us on Instagram and connect with us on our website. So finally, for the moment that you've all been waiting for, well, whoever submitted the idea have been waiting for, here we go. Oh, yes. Okay, so the winner is not, I think her name is Naomi B. Is Naomi B present? If Naomi B is present, show yourself to the chat. So show yourself to the camera. Naomi Biston, thank you so much. Does anyone know if Naomi Biston is on the call? Awesome. Okay, so if she gets, I'm really excited about this, and if she gets on the call on time, then
She is on the call.
Oh, she's on the call? Yeah. Yay. Okay, give me a second. We are going to put her on. Let's see, Naomi Biston.
So exciting.
Naomi Biston, where are you? Oh, hi, congratulations. Woohoo! We're very, very excited, and we will DM you with the information, and so we can send you your merch and your AirPods Pro. Yay! Well,
Thank you so much.
you want to give us all a message? Tell us what your idea was.
Hello, Naomi. 1 second.
Naomi?
Yeah, sorry. 1 second. Yeah. So I'm a little.
This is a little bit of a surprise for Naomi, so everyone have patience, but we would all love to hear what your idea was. Naomi? Naomi going once, Naomi going twice.
Sorry, 1 second.
She will announce to all her Instagram followers what her idea was that made her win this awesome giveaway. But I want everyone
Great idea.
to give a hand for Naomi. Congratulations. And I want everyone to go from here and firstly, number one, internalize the message that you are needed Go find someone that needs you. Find a way that you can help. Be needed and not needy. And the second thing is come connect with us. Sign up on our website. Follow us on Instagram and DM us. We'd love to hear from you. We love to connect from you to you. And have an incredible day. Thank you. An incredible night. Thank you everyone for joining us.